Hi, this is Gloria from Glows Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how to recycle your cardboard and make toppers for your cards or even a sun catcher. So this is covered in the gold glitter. It's adhesive craft glitter roll. You can get this out of the range usually, and also a few other shops. So it's fairly sticky back plastic. It's got sticky sides underneath. What you do is just want it to cover your cardboard and no more. So just roughly mark the size that you want. I'm going to do that with the 2 bits of cardboard that I have. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these. You don't want it to be too much bigger than the actual piece of cardboard, because the stickiness can go onto your actual deep dish die. The ornaments that I'm doing today, you'll see they're double-sided. So I've got one glitter side, I've got plain one to go in the middle, so there's 3 layers all together. And then this one, you place the cardboard the opposite way. So you want the bunnies to be facing the opposite way, so you can glue all 3 of them together, like that. So the cardboard, you want one smooth side facing you, and then the other one you want the ridge side facing. You have to do them opposite ways first of all. And you also place them on the deep dish die in the opposite ways as well. Now if you find it hard to get the corner, just go that with your nail and it'll come apart. There we go. So you just peel a little bit off. And check your sizes. It's going to be fine, it doesn't matter which one this goes on. Move this out the way so you can see a little bit better. I'm just putting it on there and smoothing it out. And as I go along, I'm pulling this out here and I'm smoothing it down. You don't want any air bubbles. There we go. Now, you can see I've got some extra here, so I'm just going to trim that off. So that was on the smooth side, so I need to make sure this goes on the other side. And when you're putting it through the die cutting machine, one side you want the glitter to be facing up the way, and then the other one that you die cut, you want it to be, the glitter side to be facing down the way. This means that you will have the hairs facing the opposite way from each other. Right, this isn't going to matter, but that's not exactly fitting. And again, trim off the excess sticky stuff. If you've just got a tiny bit like that, what you can do is just go like that and just put it over if it's only a millimetre or two, and that'll keep it out of the way. So you have the deep dish die here, and this is Sizzix bigz die, and it's by Olivia Rose. It also has a moon as well. So see how we've got that there? So you want one of these to be facing that way. You're die cutting it. Now, you'll see here, actually I can see there's a slight change in colour. That's because this has been sitting in my unit, and obviously the sun has discoloured it slightly, but to be honest I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. So this one is going to go with the glitter on the top. You can see that Olivia die. Yeah, you can just pick those bits off with your finger. That's how I do recommend cutting the edge off. Right, so let's do this one out. And these dies are really good. They cut through chipboard, leather, fabric, card and cardboard as well. So we had that one facing up the way, so this time the glitter sheet has to be facing down the way, and just make sure your rabbit's covered up, and you put it through the cutting machine again. Just pop it out, and that'll fix there. So you can use these if you're doing your canvas and have them facing the same way, or if you want to make 3D objects or some sort of decoration, you can put them like that, and maybe put some ribbon between them, put some beads, etc., and then they'll be double-sided like that. And what you can do is, if you want to cover that edge up, you can just take a marker and cover that edge up, but that's how you do that. Plan is to put some clear string, clear gut string, and put some beads or something on them, probably beads or crystals. I'm using Bobby Craft tacky glue. I'm going to layer these 3 layers together. Just going to put some glue on here and then spread it out. I'm just going to use a glue spreader for this. And just make sure that it's all covered, especially the edges, so that it's all going to, the layers are going to stick together. Also, I don't want any big lumps of glue either. I'm just making sure that I get right to the edge. You can see here, it's not to the edge. If any goes on the side, it'll be fine because it's going to dry clear. And then just lay this on top. I just want to match it all up. I'll have a minute to move it and make sure it's all in position. You can actually just squeeze with your fingers there. I'm just going to, for the sake of the video, I'm just going to lean with my hand. What you could do is use a heavy book want to make sure it's all lined correctly before I turn it over. Yeah, that looks okay. So I'll do the same again with this side. I'd recommend that you make sure that it's fully dry before you start the next bit, which is going to be making holes for the tiger tail. And also putting the beads in, you want to make sure that there's enough weight. So that's how I'm doing 3 layers rather than just 2. Making sure that I get right in all these edges. Don't worry if any glue goes on because it will dry clear. So I'm just pinch the edges to make sure that it's lined up properly. Also give it a little squeeze. If you find you've got excess glue, just wipe it away like that. Okay, so that's that one done, which is 3 layers. And I'm just going to do the same with the moon, and I'll be back in a moment. Before you do the build up part, we've got these edges in brown. Now you've got a choice to leave them the way they are, or what you can do is you can take an acrylic pen, or you can take an alcohol marker like Pro Markers. There are other brands as well. And then what you do is you go round all the edges. You need the fine tip when you're using the Pro Markers. Use a fine tip for the little corners, and also to get in the ear part here and there. So I've had a look to see what colours are suitable, and also test it on a piece of card first, spare bit of card, to see how the colours go, because the alcohol markers, the colour changes slightly due to the brown of the cardboard. So at first I thought I would need to use this pale blue here, but then when I did the test I found the deeper one was actually a lot better, to my surprise. So this is too pale. So I'll do this purple one here. And I've already tested the colour for the acrylic marker, and that's quite good. Now with the Posca pens, they've got a little ball bearing in them, so if you haven't used them before, if they're brand new, you shake them before you use them, and you also take the bullet tip and you press it against a spare bit of card up and down a few times to get the paint flowing. Now the ones I'm using today are the PC5M, so it might be a little bit awkward to get in here. We'll see how we go. So you'll see how that's already making a difference there, just having that little bit of colour. So use your finger to steady and try not to go over the edge on the glitter paper. So just go up and down. So this is just coating the edge with colour. You're still going to see a little bit of that brownness of the cardboard coming through. But the main aim is, can you see the difference between that edge and then that edge? So it just gives it a little bit of difference. Have a look and see what markers and pens you've got. And as I say, you can use acrylic or you can even use your ink pads. So just have a look and see what you've got in the house. Don't rush out and buy something. Just see what you've got. Even if you've got acrylic paint there, you could apply it with a fine brush. So this is going to be a wee bit awkward to get in here. So because it's cardboard, I'm just going to bend it ever so slightly and just go in here. There we go. So I can already see the edge. I'm quite happy with that. Just makes that look, makes it look a little bit more professional. As you see here with the blue one, you do see that edge if it's going to, so say, blow about in the wind if you're making it into a dream catcher for inside the house. Yes, that's the purple one done. So the blue one here I think I'm going to use. Just test it again, make sure I've got the right one. Yeah. That one's kind of too pale, that's a bit okay. So this one I'm using is an alcohol marker. And this is Ting's brand, and you can get this one in the works. Now this one comes with a bullet point and a fine end. I'm going to use the bullet end for this one. And you just do it sweeping motion. And then any little gaps, and just go back. So with alcohol markers, when you're putting them on the edge of card, it can go onto the edge and then bleed. So I'm going to be careful where I'm putting this. And also I'm not going to hold my pen there at one spot because the ink will bleed. So I'm always using, I'm always moving it. So I'm not going to get a thick bit of alcohol ink coming out. There we go. Right, so let's obviously see that side. So yeah, there is a slight halo here on the blue edge, but I'm not bothered about that. Again, and keep moving at all times. As you see, bit that's not been covered, just use your tip edge. Now you can see how that's a lot better now. Just do a little bit in here. It's not going to eradicate all that brown, but as you can see, it creates quite a nice effect. Now this is an acrylic marker. I'm going to test to see the colour, because although it's quite a bright red, this brown is going to affect it, so we'll see if that goes. Now, as you can see, that's way too bright, so I'm going to have get one of my pro markers out. So again, this looks quite bright, but because it's an ink, it's going to be absorbed into the card. So let's have a look. That's a bit better. You can see how it's closer to that. That's this red bunny already done. And you can see here, showing little mist bits, and just go over it like that. And that's the red one done. Now another thing you can use, you can get gold and silver pens. This one is the Art Line Calligraphy Gold Pen. And again, it's got a ball bearing in it, so just give it a shake before you use ones that you need to get the ink flowing. So this one I'd already started, so you're just basically going like that and putting the ink, again, putting the ink all along here. And the gold is quite subtle, but even though it's just a little bit, it does make that difference. It's so it just takes that brown edge off of it. See part 2 of this video to see how to make the Suncatcher. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you wish to see more.